Michael and me did like the founding initiatives workshop today. At first, I just talked about the SIG Students Innovation Center, and then we thought about how can we create and develop or just imagine founding initiatives, like initiative centers on other universities all over Germany. So we started with a tool that's called Persona. You just imagine a really specific type of person. We had like 4 types. It was like a student without any interest in engagement, a student with interest in engagement, then like an Ersti, like a freshman, and a master student. So we tried to cover all different types of students, and then we really imagined, okay, how do they live, what are their personal problems, familiar problems, how do they work, commute, whatever, to really understand what's their situation in life, without even thinking of the whole engagement thing. And then we had these pictures or archetypes of those student groups, and then we tried to imagine a space or some offers of such a student hub that would directly offer something what those students need, really like specifically for their situation. And then all those 4 different groups somehow synthesized into the offer of this student hub. And maybe you want to go on and explain?
Yeah, I mean, from the method it was like first to think about the target group deeply, to get the context, to get awareness, and then we decided directly, after we found out the challenges, to describe offers. And these offers or solutions are, you can talk about it structurally or about the concrete activities. And so in this way, we were thinking about how to, the framework of a student hub at universities and concrete activities which are already working or not working. And so in a way, this was our big picture, and it was, for everyone, this was a great thing, I guess, the added value, because everyone could take some ideas really with them. And yeah, and then in the last part, I presented our social reporting standard, because in a way I was writing already a social report, a social business plan about a hub, and I was just presenting how you could such a mass organize and structure in a good framework. And yeah, and this is in a way the student could be also in the future for student initiatives and student startups. And fitting social reporting standards, so that we could maybe later on at other conferences work together on a standard for student initiatives, how they can best report about their programs and services and so on. So this is in a way the idea.
Yeah. And this is like an ideal. So we called it Luftschloss or air castle. So no student hub in the world could ever really offer all those things. But maybe you're interested, then you can just dive into it and just get one idea that might be relevant for your university or initiative or whatever. So it's just a whole bunch of creativity on one flip chart. Okay.
Right on the
Any questions or comments?
Yeah, I really like the idea of this social reporting standard for student initiatives. I already also wrote one of these SRSs, and I like it to make it also applicable for initiatives. Could you maybe give me an insight of the project Coffee, what do you mean with it? Is it kind of a co-working space for initiatives? Or?
Yeah, the idea of the person who was presenting this idea was that this is just an event, an evening event where projects can present themselves, and it's networking and easygoing way to connect. So, yeah.
Can you just mention 3 ideas you had for the student hub?
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I mean, one, okay, maybe.
Or what could happen there? I mean, if somebody joins, what could this person finding the...
So maybe let's try to like structurize it. Like there's the space thing, just the space and the infrastructure where you can meet and team building and generate ideas. Then there's also like the counseling where you can go and where not only like people tell you how you can engage, but we also like, since we had all the problems of the students in mind, we realized that actually this counseling thing would be perfect if it would also address personal problems, problems of freshmen entering the study and not being able to cope with the study program and all this logistics. So actually it's like what students need is a really broad offer of counseling, and if other students could offer this, it would be perfect because they understand you the best. And that's why we also said this is not possible, because you cannot offer a counseling thing with personal and psychological and networking offer, so it's way too huge, way too broad.
Yeah. What would you think would be the main one to make happen?
Well, I mean, it depends on if you have the concrete idea of a student hub, what's the vision of it. But in our case, in the case of Students Innovation Center, it's that a student, same as you, that understands you, takes you by the hand and shows you the opportunities, how you can engage with your own idea, with your team members, future team members, or other initiatives. So that you don't have to search for yourself in the internet because you just don't have this in mind.
I would say that the biggest challenge is the documentation. If you focus really on what is happening at the campus, you collect the data of all these initiatives to present them online and also in the hub offline. This is the biggest challenge, and this to organize, because I also know it from my experience, is the most important one and also the biggest challenge.
Tom?
Do you have any idea how you would work with the initiatives on going to the aim, on achieving the aim to write a social reporting standards? In Klammern, there's also first the question to define your aim, which takes or sometimes needs to take a little while. And the second question, would you like to test this with us maybe another event?
Second question, definitely. And first question, I think you may connect it to some kinds of competitions or subsidies where you have to show some sort of quality of your project initiative, and you could just say, okay, you need to frame what you have done regarding the social reporting standard.
As you probably know, I really love your vision, that student hub, and I really particularly like the idea of self-organization, which is really ingrained into that idea of the hub. But I also think that we should try to make universities and the learning environments at universities, like they should connect to issues that are raised in these hubs, and like disciplinary help, and also professional counseling too, because I mean there are career services, there are student development services, and it should somehow relate to what's going on in the hub, shouldn't we?
Yeah, that's one thing you have to always keep in mind, that you should never create redundancies at your university. So, like designing some kind of student hub, the first step is always to look, okay, what's already present at the campus, and where can I spare my energy.
Okay, so you would suggest you first create an autonomous entity, and later on, at a later stage, you try to interconnect with bodies of the university.
I think that totally depends on the case.
Okay.
I don't know.
What is your suggestion? It's more to already combine them before creating a hub, or?
I don't know. I think it really depends on the circumstances and the people who are involved and everything. But I would really like to see the interconnection between this self-organized activity of a student hub, but embedded somehow into the institution. Because it's still, you know, kind of the university experience.
I think if it's a bottom-up initiative of students trying to work together with university, the main focus is, or it's really important to try to connect as early as possible with the AStA, I think it's called here in Germany, so with the local student representatives to get their trust, because that's what we have, that's what our problem is. We didn't engage with the local student representative organization early enough, and now they see us as a competition. But stupid. That's, yeah. Thank you.
I would just add that I think it's totally great, and I mean the power of student initiatives when they start is amazing. I mean they can really reach a lot of things, and this happens constantly at the campus. But the long run is really the challenge, and this is with all the student initiatives. And then we were also discussing professional structures and also paid staff to get it run. And what I like from your here to say, okay, we are starting now bottom up. Later on, we try to find really someone who is employed for this project. But the organization, the organization itself, is organized by students. And what is very interesting, such democratic team leadership tools or ideas like this holacracy and so on. This is a great also tool to test it, and I guess that's the right way for how to organize yourself at your student initiative to test it, what is possible, what is not possible.
Thank you.